You tune in, that means you're feeling the vibe. The bell rung, you already been subscribed. Right now, the queen, she on live. Please pull over the whip, no phoning when you drive. Dope Soul, sporting with the talk. First lady from New York, Brooklyn. All my people, you rocking with the chat. Hit that. The like button would tell me where you at. You know, step from the MBK. Born and raised up MBK. Hey, real lady, where she holding it down. No matter way how you feel, she gon' greet you with a smile.
Sister, you one of a kind.
Yes.
Oh, sister, it's time you
That's
shine. Dope Soul.
Where you at? Where you at?
Dope Soul.
Where you at? Where you at?
Dope Soul.
What?
Dope Soul.
What?
Your soul.
Where you at? Where you at?
Salute, Knick family. Welcome to the Knicks Morning Vibe. The regular season is over with a 141 to 136 loss to the Indiana Pacers last night at Madison Square Garden. I'm not sure about the rest of you, but I am ready for the playoffs. The Knicks play Cleveland this weekend in the start of the playoff series. I'm not sure the dates and times to be determined. I think Friday or Saturday, whatever it is, I'm ready for it. Salute to everybody joining me in the chat, those who'll join later, and of course the replay gang. I appreciate you. All right, let's get into it. Now I understand what the coaches say when they say you can't look ahead. Already I'm looking ahead to the playoffs, but I'm gonna try to focus on this show today. All right. The Knicks came into this game with their playoff seeding pretty much locked up. Indiana came into this game already knowing that they're out of the playoffs and the play-in, but you couldn't tell by how both of these teams played. Randall and Brunson were out for New York. Halliburton, Turner, McConnell, Duarte were out for Indiana. And both teams played hard. Defense was optional. This was the same thing in the first game against Indiana, 2 games ago? Defense was optional. Combined. Both teams scored 177 points. That's a lot. Knicks gave up 141 points in this game. They scored 136, but they gave up 141 points. Puts a lot of pressure on your offense when you can't stop anybody. The better your offense is, obviously, the less potent, for lack of a better word, your defense has to be, but you still got to be able to get timely stops. The Knicks weren't able to do that last night, and I get it. They were without Brunson. They was without Randall. This is not the usual team, but you still want that identity. Well, I guess the identity, I wanted to say, but you still want to have that same identity, but I guess they did, because when the gang is all here, it's pretty much, the same thing. The Knicks still not defending the three. Indiana shot 56% from the three-point line. 56%. I don't know what they're shooting on the season, but I can guarantee you it's not 56%. Right? Overall, though, the Knicks are 11th in defending the three. 11th out of 30 teams in defending the three. They hold teams to 35.7% from the three-point line. Like, you couldn't tell that from the eye test, because it seems like teams are always shooting above their average from three when they play us, but that's not the case. They're holding teams to 35.7% overall, which is 11th in the league. There were some good things I saw. The Knicks out-rebounded them 53-44 behind 20 rebounds from Mitchell Robinson, right? 14 of them was offensive. We got 11 from Josh Hart. We got 9 rebounds from the point guard position. 9 rebounds. That's exceptional. And as a matter of fact, as far as defensive rebounding is concerned, Josh Hart and Emmanuel quickly led us in defensive rebounding. That's going to be huge going into a playoff series when you can count on your guards. I mean, I guess you could say Josh Hart is guard forward to rebound for you like that. The Knicks had 29 assists, led by Quickly's 7. Toppin and Hartenstein had 5. Hart had 4. So the ball was moving. But, to get an assist, you got to hit a basket. It's not just about moving the ball. You have to make baskets. The Knicks shot slightly above average for them, 48% from the field. They shot 36.5% from three and 77.3% from the three-point line. They dominated points in the paint by 30 points, 74-44. They were plus 10 in second chance points, plus 7 in fast break. You look at these stats and how the Knicks dominated these individual categories, and you would think that the Knicks won the game, right? And the Knicks, it was actually scored 13 points above their usual fast break points. I think they averaged 12.8 or 13. And I think they had, like 26, 27, something like 27, I believe. Knicks statistically, played very well. And that's the same for the players as well. Obi Toppin, 34.7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 5 3-pointers. He led the team in scoring. He chipped in an ancillary stat. Shout out to Ron from Still Knick fans. He showed his versatility. And I thought there were times when they kind of went away from Toppin. Times when he was open underneath the basket or at the 3-point line, where whoever had the ball decided to do something different. But overall, I thought Obi Toppin had a really good game, and you're able to see his skill development, right? And some will argue, like I said before, oh, he already had that. Yeah, he maybe. But being able to put it on display, that's something else. On the NBA level, that's something else. And you could really see. I'm not going to take away the work. People want to say, oh, that's just how he always was. I don't think so. He put in that work. He put it in, particularly his footwork, which really wasn't that great coming out of college. Kudos to him. Quickly, not his best shooting night. I think he shot around 40% from the field, but 30 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals. He did have 5 turnovers, so it wasn't his sharpest floor game either. Grimes with 22 points, 5 3-pointers. I really hope this continues in the playoffs with him and Quick, being able to get us that perimeter shooting, which I think is going to be a swing factor in the playoffs. Barrett, 18 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Barrett all season has been up and down. Don't really know what you're going to get from RJ Barrett from game to game. And hopefully in the playoffs, that changes. Because in my opinion, I think we're going to need him. Mitchell Robinson, 9 points, 20 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 7 block shots. Man, and I think it was 14 of those 20 rebounds were offensive rebounds, in that next series with Cleveland. And we'll talk about it more tonight on the Queen's Court. And then I have 2 Just Nicking It shows this week, Tuesday and Thursday, to really get in depth on this upcoming Cleveland series. We're going to need Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein, right? Jared Allen, 7 foot. Mobley, if he's not 7 foot, he's close to it. Really long, defensive-minded, shot-blocking players that Cleveland have. So we're really going to need Mitchell Robinson, our center crew, whoever plays. I think is going to be Hartenstein and Midge to really come up big for us. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So listen, a surprising season for the Knicks, and I'll check in. You know what? Let me check in with the chat, and then I'll talk about just my overall observations on the season. Dwayne Dennis, good morning, and I agree with both Jeff Clafton and Keith Turner. Your shows are now. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. RJ is very bipolar. You just don't know. I think in terms of if what you mean that his game is like a Jekyll and Hyde, there's like stretches where he plays super well and other stretches, not so much. I would agree with that. JJ, I appreciate you. Knicks Cavs series going to come down to being able to hit threes. Don't see us being able to beat them in the paint with Mobley and Allen defending down low. Yeah, I'm super excited about this series. I don't think Mobley can guard Randall if he's healthy. I don't think Okoro can, or whoever they put on Brunson, can guard him one-on-one. So I think both of those guys are going to command a double team. And I think the swing factor, in my opinion, is going to be the shooting and scoring. Not necessarily just the perimeter shooting, but the scoring. Because think about RJ Barrett. He's not shooting the three that well, right? But if on the double team, you swing the ball to RJ Barrett and he's able to get to the rim and score, that puts pressure on Cleveland to have to make a decision. Are we going to continue to double team, or are we going to play these guys straight up in terms of Brunson and Randall? So it's going to be, I'm super excited to see how this plays out. And just listen, win or lose, because I think it can go either way. I see a path for the Knicks winning this series, and I can see how the Knicks can lose this series. So I see both paths, right? But for me personally, I just want to see our guys and our coaching staffs in the playoffs and see how they perform, see the adjustments, see how we adjust to the adjustments, stuff like that. Super fun. Jabrani _Z. I hope I got that right. We need to get to and hit our free throws this series. I'm more worried about that than three-point shooting. That's a good point. I think the Knicks have been able to get away with not shooting the free throws that well because the offense has just been stellar, phenomenal, fantastic, whatever word you want to use. And they haven't really been in these really tight, close games where missing the free throws have hurt us, right? That might not be the case against Cleveland. These teams are more evenly matched than we know. Again, we'll go over that tonight on the Queen's Court. I got 2 shows this week. We'll really break down Cleveland, particularly statistically, and they're not that far apart in pace and in terms of how they play the game. We'll see. I think it's going to be good. Shout out to Josh. I believe when Randall and Brunson come back, the game will slow down enough and we won't give up as many points. But 3-point D is a concern. Yeah, no doubt about it. Sharice Duncan, excited for game 1. Yeah. Keith Turner, I need a prediction. Ooh. This is going to be tough because I can see the Knicks winning in 6 or even 5. And I could see the Knicks losing in 5 or 6. I do think our perimeter shooting and scoring, not just perimeter shooting and scoring, other than Brunson and Randall, is going to be the swing factor in whether or not the Knicks win or lose this game. But if you're asking me where I'm putting my money, where I'm putting my vote, I put my vote on the Knicks to win in 5 or 6. Right? I'm having faith and confidence that the other players, other than Randall and Brunson, like I'm already keying Randall and Brunson in. Now, if those guys struggle, it's going to be tough. But I'm keying in that those guys are going to have a good series and command a double team. And then if they don't get the double team because our other guys are playing well, they're going to eat up single coverage, right? That's what I'm banking on, right? That's what gets the ball moving. Now you start playing chess. What are you going to do now? But I'm banking on those other guys coming through. And I get it. Grimes is young, quickly, second time in the playoffs, much different role. But I don't think everybody has to be on every night. You know what I mean? I think if Grimes is not on, maybe that's the day Quick is on. Maybe that's the game we get what we need from RJ Barrett. If Quick is off, maybe that's the game that, Josh Hart scores a bit more, right? And Grimes hits his 3. So I don't think everybody needs to be on in every game, right? And so what I'm banking on is that we're going to get enough each game, even if it's from different people, to win the series, right? So I see the path of the Knicks losing, but I'm putting my money on we're going to get enough each game, to win it behind Brunson and Randall. And that's if Randall is healthy. If Randall is not healthy, and to me, just healthy enough to command a double team, right? If they have to single coverage and stay at home, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Sharice Duncan believes RJ is the X factor in this series. You know what? I think we can win with RJ Barrett playing uneven, because we've done it all season. However, if he does become super consistent and does the little things, and God forbid if that 3-point shooting starts falling, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. But I do think we can win the series with RJ Barrett just doing what he's doing right now, because we have drugs only, Grimes on both end, no doubt about it. Jeff Clafter said we need RJ to play well. So Sharice Duncan, Jeff Clafter is with you. We need him to play better. Jeff also said that he thinks that they are a mirror image of us in a lot of ways. Neither team has a strong three-man, but both have good guard play, and rim protection. Yeah, and both play slow. The Knicks are 28th in pace. Cleveland is 30th in pace. I was surprised at that. Mike Boy, I feel like there's more pressure on Cleveland. They are expected to be there. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Keith Turner, to me, IQ is the X factor. He is by far the third best player on his team. He's definitely playing that way this year. I cannot argue with that. But, back to just my little quick assessment on this season. Initially, when we did the MBK show and we went through game by game, I had the Knicks winning 40 games initially. I amended it a few games over, a few days later on another show, but initially I had them at 40 wins, and they got 7 more and could have had more than that. The Knicks could have won 50 games this season, right? I think a few things broke right for us. Randall back to form. Like, Randall is playing better than he played in his All-NBA season this year. More efficient, quicker decisions. He knows where his spots are on the floor. He gets to those spots. Just love the way he played this season. So Randall regaining form. Brunson being more than many of us thought he would be. I thought he would be good, right? And I thought he would help this team. I thought he would solidify that point guard position, but he's been more than that. So that broke right for us. Quickly taking the next step. That broke right for us. The acquisition of Josh Hart is finally playing dividends for us down the stretch. I saw this initially, but then when you saw him play, we weren't getting that. And now I think this is what the front office had in mind from Josh Hart. Somebody who can rebound, somebody you can basically run that second team offense through him, right? So if Brunson is ever out and IQ has to move up to the point guard position, you can run the offense through Isaiah Hartenstein in that second unit, right? 5 assists last night. I think he had 4 or 5 the night before. And obviously the acquisition of, Josh Hart at the trade deadline. Talk about a Swiss Army knife. Just a rebounding. Pound for pound, he has to be the best rebounder in the league by inches. Per inch. He has to be the best rebounder, right? And listen, Tibbs connecting with the team, solidifying the team culture, one game at a time, next man up, play to your strengths. And in the press conferences, when you hear players saying the same thing that their coach is saying, they bought in. RJ Barrett didn't even want to talk about the playoffs after the New Orleans game. We got to focus on the next game, so really love that. Listen, and kudos to the coaching staff for this. They're the 4th ranked defense. And they're ranked, let me see what it is. They're ranked in field goal percentage, they're ranked 20th. In 3-point percentage, they ranked 19th. And they've moved up in that regard, right? And in free throw percentage, they're ranked 22nd. Like, this is not a great shooting team, right? But it's the 4th ranked offense. So just finding ways to generate points. With the 3, the strategy is just take enough of them. It seems like they dominate, they do well in paint points. They dominate second chance points. They don't turn the ball over. This is a really good team. And let's keep in mind, Cleveland is not that playoff tested as well in terms of individual players and this team right now, right? Donovan Mitchell, this is his first year on that team. So the team is closer than you think. I think after the All-Star break, they're 13-8. We're 14-8. So it's going to be super interesting how this plays out. Let me see. We went through that. We went through that. Okay. All right. And this is Cleveland. And then I'll check back in with the chat. This is just on the season. The Knicks are 47-35. Cleveland is 51-31. 20 games over 500. We're fifth in the league in the Eastern Conference. They're fourth in the Eastern Conference. The Knicks had the eighth best. I have to check it again, but as of yesterday morning, they had the eighth best record in the entire NBA. Eighth, top 10 in record in the entire NBA. Really good team. The Knicks are fourth in offense, and this is on the season, not the last 10, on the season. Fourth in offensive rating, 19th in defensive rating, eighth in net rating. Cleveland is eighth in offensive rating, first in defensive rating, second in net rating. We played them 4 times. We're 3-1. Matchups matter. Matchup matters. And, Wally Serviak, who's a MSG analyst, in a post game last night, made the point that, yes, they are the number 1 ranked defense in the entire NBA on the season, but not against us. And for him, he felt like we won the series because they just could not match up with us, that they had nobody for Randall and they had nobody for Brunson, our 2 best players on the team. Right. So he feels like, the Knicks are right in there. The Knicks are right there. Like, don't like, oh my God, they the number 1 ranked defense. They don't match up well against us, in his opinion. And you know what? He might be right, because Mobley, like I said earlier, cannot hold Julius Randle if he's healthy, period, point blank. He just doesn't want to guard out there where Randle plays. And the same thing with Brunson. And I know there's still some people in Knick fandom. Oh, if a guy is stronger than him and longer than him, they give him problems. Maybe it happened 1 or 2 games in the season. They extrapolate that to the entire season. When we've seen night after night, Brunson handle guys taller and longer than him if he's healthy, right? Let's hope he's healthy because, like I said, he's working on the slimmest of physical margins. You know what I mean? So if he got a toe injury, anything that's going to slow him down is going to hurt him. All right. Where to find me, and then I'll check in with the chat again tonight, 9:30 p.m. on the Queen's Court with the panel. We'll dive into the Cleveland Cavaliers statistically. We'll talk about that tonight. Tuesday, the Just Nicking It show, where we'll go over matchups. And then Thursday, we'll do it again, and we'll compare offense and defense and bench and coaching. So 2 games, 2 shows this week. I appreciate you guys. Let me check in one more time on my way out the door. Sharice Duncan, say we do beat the Cavs. Do we have any chance against the Bucks? Yes, a chance. Will this season be considered a failure if Cleveland sweeps us? That is a very good question. I have to think about that. Shout out to Jeff Clafter. It's Christmas in April. I appreciate you. Nikki B from Harlem. Appreciate you. JJ, appreciate you. Saying Mobley is is prone to fouls. Falls for pump fakes and is over aggressive at times. Hoping Randall can get him in early foul trouble. Yeah, Mike Boy, appreciate you. The bigs do need to match Cleveland's physicality. No doubt about it. Keith Turner, yes, hit the likes. We got 52 people listening, 21 likes. I just gave a like to myself, 22 likes. Hit the like button. It does help. Jeff Clafter, appreciate you again. Dwayne Dennis, Mike Boyd, Keith Turner, JJ, Josh, I appreciate you. Keith Turner again. Sean Kearns, the Public Enemy, Ace of Kings, who is not that happy with RJ Barrett. Drugs Only, I appreciate you. Ashley Inc. 1, I appreciate you. He talks about us having strong backups at every position that should wear the teams down. I hope you're correct. Jabrani _Z, I appreciate you. Lions of Judah. Kenya Smith, good morning, sis. Listening on Facebook, appreciate you. Angel Torres, who predicted 47 wins for the Knicks on the NBK show. Kudos to you, Angel Torres. You got it right. Jeff Clafter, yes, thank you guys for appreciating the work that does go into the morning show. I have a Patreon, keep the lights on level, the link is in the description, $5 a month to support the show. I'll also keep you guys updated. I should be dropping an audio podcast. Well, it goes without saying, a podcast today. Wherever you listen to your podcast, just look for Dope Soul Sports Talk, Dope Soul Knicks Talk. I'll be there. I don't have any content now. I got an old show, an old post-game show, but I should be dropping one today. But if you put the notifications on, anytime I drop one, you'll get the notifications to listen. I'm going to try to do 1 or 2 a week. And as a matter of fact, Freezy and I, we get together every Thursday to do a show. Usually it's on this channel, but I'm moving that to the audio podcast. So if you want to hear me and Freezy on Thursdays around 12 o'clock, wherever you get your listen to your podcast, put the notifications on. When it drops, they'll let you know. I appreciate all of you, and hopefully I'll see some of you guys, if not all of you, over tonight on the Queen's Court. Peace.
Sister, you one of a kind.
Yes.
Sister, it's time you
That's
shine. Dope Soul.
Where you at? Where you at?
Dope Soul.
Where you at? Where you at?
Dope Soul.
What?